You know, who feels it sure knows where it hurts. To say Kaduna Governor Nasir El-Rufai is the most flustered governor in our country at the moment is understating the obvious. Kaduna State is bearing the brunt of banditry and terror attacks at the moment. Governor El-Rufai admitted that the Nigerian authorities know the camps of the bandits, their identities, and even eavesdropped on their conversations. And so a visibly angry Governor El-Rufai wondered why the security folks, who have all available security reports about the terror gangs, would not go after them. As far as he's concerned, bombing them out of existence is a tough decision to take. The die is cast. And also we must talk about the abduction of the customs officer and the killing of security and med soldiers and so on.
Yes.
Jide, these are still terrible times.
They are. There's no let up. Every day, people get killed in our country. Bandits have seized some parts of our country from us, because right now in some parts of the northwest, bandits are behaving more like Boko Haram used to do, whereby they grab a territory, turn it to their camp, and they'll be operating from there.
You know, hoist a flag.
No, bandits won't hoist a flag. It's the Boko Haram men.
The terrorists, yeah.
Yes, the Boko Haram men who do that.
Okay.
The bandits, their desires are clear. That's why what happened, the storming of the train is not a terrorist act. It's meant to make money, period. And they took people away in buses. It's just
so
consistent.
It's an organized crime.
Organized crime. There is money that they're after. I once told you a friend of mine, a Fulani who was kidnapped in Kaduna State. He said the bandit looked at him and said, "I can smell money."
Ew.
It's just money. It's just money and more money that they're after. So before that operation, they already lined up buses that they will use, these Sharon buses,
in ferrying
those people to their camp somewhere in Niger State. And that's what they've done. So I can understand the governor's frustration. If along a 30-kilometer radius, people keep getting kidnapped, keep getting killed, and we can't do anything in a very small area. It's not every part of the Kaduna-Abuja highway that is unsafe. It's just where you have forest on both sides.
Yeah, a particular stretch.
And that's where you have that Rijana,
okay,
Jere,
okay,
and Akilbu. Those are the areas where you have forest on both sides, and that's where they operate.
And the train goes through...
It has to pass through that side.
Yeah,
it has to pass through that portion before he gets to his destination, either on his way back or when he's going. So when he's going, and the previous attacks on the train, the previous breaches of the rail tracks also happened in that area. So what is stopping us from descending like paratroopers on that area and the people dislodge them, deal decisively with them, patrol that area consistently? There's something called motorized patrol.
Yeah, yeah.
Just standing in one place is not the modern approach to patrolling. Motorized patrol is even better than the stationary checkpoints.
Or the beat system.
Just keep
moving.
Even when they can see security operatives active in an area, you will see that some of those attacks won't be happening again, because they too don't want to suffer casualties. These guys, most bandits, most terrorists, they are cowards. It is when they catch them that you know that they are indeed cowards. You know? So they too don't want to die.
Okay, okay. We'll continue with it, but then let's go on a break now. Some information has just come in. The moon has been sighted in Saudi Arabia. It suggests, therefore, that Ramadan will commence tomorrow. As we always say, Ramadan Kareem to all of you. We'll take the break. All right, before the break, we were talking about Kaduna and how flustered the governor is. And the man said that the security folks know a lot about the people's camps. They eavesdrop even on their conversations and so on. And the problem is, why aren't we going after them, Paul?
That's a very big question. You know, when I was thinking about this thing, I was angry and sad at the same time. It looks like the attacks have become so routine that we are now it's like we are becoming impervious to the pains of the people. Now, if I am angry, and of course, Governor El-Rufai, who is directly affected because he's the governor of that state, I can understand his anger.
Yeah.
What exactly is the problem? You know where they are. That's what the governor said.
Yeah.
Said, we know where they are. We eavesdropped on their conversations, and yet we can't do anything. Sometimes it will appear that the military goes, attacks them in their camps. Then we have a law in that. There's a let up, and then they do this again. They train. This is not the first time a train will be attacked along that route. It happened like 6 months before. There was a time that the station at Rigasa was also attacked. It's been happening.
And there are claims and counterclaims of intelligence.
Exactly.
This is about to happen and so on.
It's very clear to me that they have this information. The one that even got me so angry, was when El-Rufai said, the governor said, I even advised NLC to suspend night train. Yeah. And then NLC said that was in November, December. So what has changed? So you went to relax. And then the man said, if it stopped that, it means we are defeated. But what measures have you put down to ensure your victory? You have no measures. So this thing is very annoying. And then we are hearing of leaked memos,
blah blah blah,
blah 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 blah. That's what we are blaming. People are blaming. They are just trading blames and all of that. And for me, let me say this: for every man or woman whose life has been lost because of the inaction, inaction of the authorities, the blood of these people will be on them. That's the truth of the matter.
Don't curse.
No, I'm not cursing. This is a fact. You can't.
Their conscience.
Such things don't go like that. It will haunt them.
Yes, let it haunt them.
Yeah, Judy, but the other angle to this, sorry, that a particular customs officer and the son were kidnapped and so on, 2 soldiers and all that. These are dementing angles to these peculiar stories.
Yeah, but again, that one is not new. We've seen bandits storm a custom outpost in the past in the northwest, and they took those custom officers away. So you see, the fact that they are well armed makes them extremely confident, and they just tell themselves that, look, what's going on? We can overrun these people. Haven't they killed 18 Nigerian soldiers in one day in Katsina? I've talked about that in Shimfida, GBA local government. So if this had been happening and we didn't find a way to stop them carrying out these attacks, it will only get worse. Even some of us who are journalists, we know where their hideouts are. Have I not gone to interview bandits before in Katsina? I was asking one of my highly placed security people that bandit in GBA local government, has he relocated from his camp? And they told me no, that he has not relocated. That sometimes he even comes out for Jumat prayers.
And
so we know where they are.
You wonder
if these things
are
deliberate. If it was me saying it, they would say Jide has come with his trouble again. He doesn't like the armed forces. All that silly talk that I hate my own friends. But here is the governor saying it. As the governor, he has access to security reports and all that. If we can eavesdrop on their conversations, that should lead us to go and take them out wherever they are. I really pity the people who have been moved into the bush, because they will cause them to walk and walk and walk. And some of them, their health cannot go through all that pain. In the process, they will die. And these guys have no conscience. If you die, that is the end.
Yeah. Okay, we are joined now by one of our friends, Group Captain Siddiq Shehu. He helps us throw more light on the matter. Captain, I greet you. Good evening.
Group Captain.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Governor El-Rufai has said, bomb them out of existence. I wonder how you react to this.
Is it possible?
Is it possible in the
to
light of
exterminate them
by bombing them, by going after them now?
Oh, thank you very much for that question. Now I think this is about the second or third time that Governor El-Rufai is making this statement about to carpet bomb the bandits or the forests. I can really understand, like you started in your thing, the frustration of a governor that is besieged by security operations to which seems there is no solution. I can understand his feelings. I can understand his anger. But at the same time, as the saying goes, that even while a man is crying, he should be able to see the road. If not, a trailer will jam him. Carpet bombing in itself, it has some negative legal connotations as far as conflict and war fighting is concerned. First, let me say that the meaning of the term carpet bombing is very important, because first, it is not a formal military or legal phrase. When you look at carpet bombing, it can be described to drop a large number of bombs so as to cause uniform devastation over a given area. Carpet bombing is also known as circulation bombing or obliteration bombing. It refers to a type of area bombing that aims to affect complete destruction of the target area by exploding bombs in every part of it. It is a devastating or bombing attack that seeks to destroy every part of a wide area. Now, the forest that these bandits or terrorists, as we like to call them, are operating is an area that extends from Niger State through Kaduna State, through Katsina, through Zamfara, up to Niger Republic. I would love to be sure that in the whole of this area, there is nobody except bandits. But unfortunately, I cannot be comfortable making that assumption. Let's even leave issues of environmental degradation, fauna, farms that could be destroyed. The issue is when you look at carpet bombing as it is being meant, it is meant as indiscriminate bombing over a large area. Unfortunately, the laws of war or the laws of armed conflict or the laws of attack do not allow us to do indiscriminate bombing over a large area. What the law requires is either you do area bombing or precision bombing. Now, I have looked at what all Governor El-Rufai is saying. Sometimes I am comfortable to hear him saying, we know the exact locations of these bandits. We know where they are. We know where their camps they are. Now, if we know where their camps are, if we know their exact location, then certainly we are not talking about carpet bombing. We are talking about precision bombing because we are going after a specific target. However, on other occasions, I've heard him saying, bomb the whole forest. I know, in fact, on his own word, he said, I know there will be casualties, and everywhere there's casualty. Unfortunately, the laws of war does not allow you to carpet bomb. Whether I kill civilians, whether I kill bandits, I don't care. Unfortunately, you do not have that luxury. The laws require you always to take all feasible precautions, that is the phrase, all feasible precautions to ensure that civilians, innocent civilians, are not harmed. If you go back to 2018-19,
yeah,
the Bofara or not, who claimed that a lot of innocent farmers were killed. I know that something was not followed, but that is the issue. You know, it's only in few occasions. What I want to see us doing, what I want to see the military doing, and also the political understanding is that with the hands tied like this, what you have to do is that there are occasions when these bandits will offer clear targets and you can hit them. We've had occasions where they are doing naming ceremony or they are doing burials that they have been hit by the Nigerian Air Force. These are the kind of opportunities we'll look for. But carpet bombing of the whole area has legal and moral implications which we cannot throw away. Now looking even at feasibility, because as a feasibility, the kind of carpet bombing that we're talking that will destroy forests so that you will see the bandits, was last tried, I think, during First World War or Second World War, with there is a chemical called orange, red or orange. I can't remember, orange something, that the Americans used in Vietnam because they were faced with similar circumstances, people hiding in forests, so you defoliate the forest. But from that time, you'll agree with me to now, the issue of climate change, the issue of environment has all come into the fore, such that using such weapons or even use metals, if we have it, it will be somehow illegal. And in any case, the amount of bomb that you need to drop to clear this thick forest is not a small amount. And I do not think, with due respect, I do not think financially or equipment-wise we even have that. So feasibility of that is not that. So let's marry what Governor El-Rufai is saying, but what we should be going is identify. That's why I said I feel comfortable. In some of his remarks, he said we know where they are. We know their location. If you know the location, you are not doing carpet bombing. You are doing precision bombing, or you are doing area bombing. And that is what our military should try to do.
Now, let's, can you cause our viewers to understand the distinction between the carpet bombing
and the precision bombing
and the use of cluster bombs?
Yeah.
Because we still hear about cluster bombs in these modern times. And looking at what we face, can we use cluster bombs against these individuals?
Thank you very much. Again, I reiterate that carpet bombing is an indiscriminate bombing where you say you don't care whether you are killing innocent civilians or bandits. That would be unlawful, that would be immoral. Use of cluster bombs. Nigeria has signed the Convention Against Cluster Munition, CCM. And if you recall, I'm sure you all follow Security, 2014, I think Defense Headquarters even warned that in the Northeast, for example, that Boko Harams are using remnants of the cluster bombs that were used. Anyway, I need to say that the Alpha Jets is one of the aircraft that I know it uses the cluster bombs which you got from UK. The problem with cluster bombs is that if you...
Oh dear.
That's the Alpha Jet.
That's the Alpha Jet. Yeah.
And then this one's, this one Alpha Jet.
The Tucano are a different breed.
This is...
Hello?
Hello? Hello? We can hear you. Now, you are trying to...
Yes. So
you said the problem with the cluster bomb. That was
we lost that. Yeah.
Yes, okay. The problem with cluster bombs from experience is that they have a high rate of failure. That is, they don't explode. So they remain there, becoming a threat to the communities, waiting for one small boy going to school to touch it, or a farmer tilling his farm, and they don't explode. So for that reason, the international community has banned the use of cluster bombs through the Cluster Munition Convention, which unfortunately Nigeria has signed. Fortunately or unfortunately. So again, using cluster munitions will be illegal. It will be against a convention which we willingly signed.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Group Captain. But this is not to say that the Nigerian Air Force can help in a situation like this by dislodging the bandits, or what do you think?
As a country, what I am saying, but it's a combined effort. Like when you hear Governor El-Rufai is saying DSS and other agencies. In fact, I heard him somewhere saying we even have maps of where these people are. So the issue is using intelligence so that when you are attacking a specific target, not just throwing the bomb, like that, which would cause civilian. And I'm telling you, despite the fact that people are against bandits, if you have a high rate of civilian collateral damage, again, the support for the anti-banditry operation from the general public will go down. That is the reality of it. So we must be conscious about collateral damage. And mind you, when I talk about collateral damage, permit me to say, it is not that international law, all of our conflicts said that collateral damage must be zero. But it's again a measure of proportionality. If you have 50 bandits and you hit them, unfortunately, 1 or 2 farmers are there. I say unfortunately because all life is useful. You kill 2 people, the law might overlook that. But whereby you went and killed 20 bandits and you killed 20 villagers, I don't think, again, that is proportionate.
No,
so it's not that collateral. So all reasonable effort, like I said, all reasonable precautions must be taken before attack. Are you going to look at times where bandits are sleeping and hit them? Are you going to avoid market days? Are you going to avoid rainy season where farmers are in the market? And more importantly, right now after this train attack, gentlemen, we are talking about 100 people unaccounted for. If you or and I have a wife, a brother, or a husband who is nowhere, we might speculate that he's in a bandit camp. Would you accept indiscriminate bombing just to obliterate the place? We will feel okay if we don't have any hostage here. So this is the issue. It is not easy, but again, that is what the military profession requires. That's why it's a difficult and a thankless job. Still, the military man, the man dropping the bomb, the intelligence must make sure they geolocate precisely so that we hit what we want to hit, which is not carpet bombing. Precision bombing.
Captain, we understand the pains of the governor, as indeed Nigerians. When he says bomb them out of existence, he is suggesting that the Air Force can be useful at a time like this, or don't you think so?
Definitely. Like I said, from the literature I've read, from reports I've read, there have been occasions, just recently, I think no more than 2 or 3 weeks or even 1 month ago, there are occasions where this bandit from intelligence, they were burying one person that they lost. Of course, it's only bandits that will be congregated in that burial party. They were hit and we got them. There was a time when some bandits were doing naming ceremony or marriage ceremony. The Air Force got the intelligence and they got them. So definitely there are situations that will present itself. But unfortunately, it's not an everyday occurrence. Where it's not an everyday occurrence, the possibility of hitting innocent civilians is always there. And the professional military man, despite the misgiving, despite the hardship that Governor El-Rufai is going, cannot say, I really don't care as long as I hit bandits. I don't care whether I hit civilians. Unfortunately, that will be unprofessional and even immoral.
No, makes no sense.
Captain, at a time like this, I'm assuming if you were in charge, were the commander of the theater operation, what would you tell the seat of government concerning this wahala?
Well, again, go to the words of Governor El-Rufai. I hear him saying we have maps. We know where they are. And with due respect, not only from him, in my interaction with other security personnel, whether GSS, whether military personnel, I've heard this being said that for a long time we know where they are. If we know where they are, it's just a matter of timing, and then we hit the place. That will not be capable. You are hitting a specific target. So the Air Force has a role to play, but it's in the planning, it's getting the precise information and intelligence to make sure what you want to hit. You cannot afford just to hit wildly across all the board. I tell you, this is a forest that is extending from Niger State up to Niger Republic. Again, I had Governor El-Rufai saying that there is no honest person that is in that forest. With due respect, again, I think we have a duty to guide our political leaders. I wish I could say that confidently, that in that forest there is no innocent civilian. But unfortunately, with what I know, it will be a very, very it will be impractical for me to say that in the whole of that forest area, it is only bandits that are there. If it is the only, but if Governor El-Rufai is so sure, then that makes our work easy. But again, I said I don't think that is the situation.
Okay, good, Captain. I understand your concerns about collateral damage. Yeah, but it has taken too long. We've had reign of terror for too long. But what would you say about a situation where we get to hear that there have been intelligence reports regarding some of these attacks before they happen, and then we only react and we just hear people trade blames? Now, would you say that there is is it a case of unwillingness, or is it a case of lack of capacity to deal with this situation
decisively?
Unfortunately, that is one message that has been coming out that is very disturbing. I have had several people of a high caliber, political leaders, who said, we know that this attack was going to happen, we received this information was going to happen, but then why did we allow them to attack before we responded? With due respect, I'm happy to hear 1 day or 2 days after that a camp was located and it was hit. But I would have preferred it was before the attack. Now, this is one thing this is my own personal opinion. Because of our history of military rule, whereby the military has been the judiciary, the legislature, and the executive, I see a tendency of the political holders, a tendency for them to be reticent, to be hesitant about holding military and security agencies accountable. In a democracy which we are practicing, wherever we are practicing democracy, the supremacy of the political leaders over the instrument of violence, could it be police, could it be DSS, could it be Nigerian military, is not in any question. So whereby the political masters find, I had yesterday the debate at the National Assembly, we have given them everything, Did you follow to see what they did with the everything in quotation? Because the military or the security agencies might contest this everything. But I've heard we have given them everything. It's not just giving everything. I always give the analogy, we are all family men, of giving your wife money for the children's food and for school fees. If unfortunately you are not blessed with a good wife, she might decide to go and do ashobi, or to go and impress people in a distance while your children are starving. So the point I'm making is not just budgeting money, it's following the money. And where the people do not do as they are saying now, the political masters have every constitutional and democratic right to take sanctions against people if they are sure that is what's happening. But of course here, I'm putting under the proviso of their saying, we have given yesterday, I had a National Assembly speaker, member saying, we have given them all they wanted. Well, but it's not enough to give them all they wanted. If you have, you follow up. You follow up. That is, in all honesty, that is my own opinion. That is where we are lacking. At the executive branch, at the legislative branch, the oversight of the security forces is very weak. It's not knowledge driven. They don't give money and tie it to a particular decision. I don't have to be specific, but I feel bad that I see some useless projects being pursued by the security or the security agencies, whereas the situation should be concentrated on operational matters.
Yeah, Capitano.
So many bogus white elephant projects that we are doing at a time where the country is at war. People are being killed. It is the fault of the political masters.
Thank you, Captain. Thank you very kindly. Thank you. That's Group Captain Siddiq Shehu lending the weight of his voice to the matter we're discussing. Kaduna State, as indeed, Kaduna State has become a metaphor for what's happening mainly in the north of Nigeria. Banditry, terrorism. Thank you, Captain, for your time.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Judy, it's been said, crime, whatever name you give to it, is misdirected energy. I'm wondering where we got to this pass, dangerous pass.
Now, when you fail to deal with a problem at infancy, you allow it to grow, and now we have a big problem on our hands. We were lethargic in dealing with banditry. We were lethargic in dealing with Boko Haram. Otherwise, Boko Haram terrorists would have been exterminated in the first year. But we took things easy. Now it's so bad for us now that we can't deal with these threats. It has exposed us, and people will ask the question, is it that a country as big as Nigeria succumbing to the threat posed by bandits is terrible.
Yeah.
So many people now unaccounted for. Those boys are going to get tons of cash by way of ransom. That was the goal.
And the trouble is, even when this ransom is paid, a lot of denials. Oh, we didn't pay any.
No, not
in this
anymore.
case.
No. Look at government no longer pays ransom on behalf of people. All those students of the Federal Government College in Kebbi State that were kidnapped, their parents negotiated and paid ransom. Those university students that were kidnapped in Kaduna, the government didn't pay ransom. The parents, government has simply passed the burden to the parents. The government will not pay the ransom. The government will not rescue the people from the bandits. So It's the parents now who will suffer. I know someone who sold his house just to get his son out of the den of this bandit. So is that bad? Is that bad?
Quickly, a desperate situation would require a desperate reaction. So Governor El-Rufai is on cue here.
Yes, he is, and we are not desperate enough. And the truth of the matter is that the bandits will not just repent. They will not stop kidnapping. They will not just have a change of heart. We've got to take them out, whatever it takes.
Well, bombing alone cannot.
Yes, much as we want to avoid or prevent collateral damage, we've got to find a way to deal with this. The worst of us cannot continue to terrorize the best of us. These people are not, they are not as many as the good Nigerians.
And they are not spirits.
They are not spirits. They are human beings. They can be dealt with.
Yeah.
So we've got to do something about it.
All right.
We need the ground troops to work with the Air Force. To imagine that the Air Force can win this war is a waste of time. As we are seeing in Ukraine, Putin has been firing missiles, bombing Ukrainian cities. But up till now, he has not been able to enter, to take over any of their 10 biggest cities. So, because you will bomb and bomb, at some point you must come down.
Exactly.
And the surface troops must complete the job. So, that is the thing. It's the surface troops that will now enter the forest, take over the forest.
We must go. Time is the master here.